I just came back from a lapidary shop, a local lapidary shop. They're actually closing down soon, so they were doing a liquidation sale. And I picked up some mineral specimens. They were selling some mineral specimens as well. But then I also picked up a bunch of raw material. This person had Flint Ridge chert. So I grabbed a couple chunks that weren't too fractured, and I even got ahead of myself and started working this darker chunk of Flint Ridge material down into a biface. Still got a bit of a stack on this side, so I'm gonna see if I can reduce it, and if not, maybe I'll just turn this into a nice large scraper replica. But I got a whole bunch of stuff. I got some cool banded rhyolite, classic wonderstone as some people call it. It's just a banded rhyolite, a nice huge chunk of it. Another type of rhyolite, I'm unsure. Even the shop owner, he wasn't unsure, and he's like this older gentleman. Very cool. If any of you guys are in Southern Ontario and want to check it out, it's called. I should actually have. Roland Hall Originals is what the shop is called. And he didn't know what this was either, but I saw it. I think it is definitely some type of rhyolite. Maybe some U.S. Viewers might know what this is, because there's a lot of. He used to do a lot of wholesale, and he got a lot of like material from the U.S. and then he kind of shifted towards combination of wholesale and selling to individuals. And he has like these large rock piles out back the back side of his shop, and this was in one of them. And there's like classic Brazilian agate. I just grabbed this nodule because it looked cool. And I thought, you know what, it'd be fun to slice a agate open. There's some local Ontario porphyry. This comes from a place close to Sudbury. I've seen some polished examples of this material, and it polishes up well and looks pretty nice. So I thought I'd take a chunk home. It's a bit oxidized, but this is BC rhodonite. I'll put a picture of what it looks like unoxidized, and it just tends to oxidize pretty quickly if it's not if it's just unpolished and stuff. So I'll definitely be doing some projects with this stuff. It's a cool pink material. Here's some kind of interesting pseudomorph agate, just an end chunk of pseudomorph agate that was in the rock piles. That kind of some might say this might be some Turkish agate, but I think this guy got his material from North America, so I have a suspicion this is some type of Mexican pseudomorph, plumy kind of agate. It's just really pretty. Then there's this stuff. I think it's called Datalite something. It's a rock out of BC. Some people call it money stone or something. I'll put the name up in the corner so that you guys can see what it is. I just saw this in the rock pile, and this was the only chunk I saw, so I thought I'd take it home. Then there's some mahogany obsidian. There wasn't really a lot of obsidian. There were only that mahogany obsidian, and then this chunk of kind of, well, it's like mahogany light. It's mostly black, but there's some brown in there. I found this. There was some seam agate from the East Coast, from like Nova Scotia and stuff, and New Brunswick and all those areas. So I got myself a flat, thick piece of seam agate. Here's just a nice little chunk of petrified wood that I picked up. It was just nice and colorful, so I thought I would take it home. I went there hoping that there would be thunder eggs, and sure enough, there were a bunch of thunder eggs. So I took mostly uncut ones home, because I was really... that's the part of the fun with thunder eggs, is just seeing what's in there. This one is a definite something in there, because you can see some of the rhyolite has actually popped off, probably from the freeze and thaw of just this being in the rock piles. And there's definitely calcity in there. this guy has some stuff. And I'll get to the slabs right now. So for the slabs, we'll start here. This was labeled as a dry head agate, but I have a suspicion this looks more like a teepee canyon, at least. Let me know what you you American collectors think. Those who are in the region of the teepee canyon or dry head agate collection areas. I know dry head. If it's dry head, I know that the property that dry heads are found on, like, you can't collect there anymore, and from the sounds of it, it's probably pretty dug up. This is what's called Biggs jasper. Got a little bit of a OE jasper. It's a type of rhyolite, just nice colors. Another type of jasper. Slab of lemon chrysoprase. Or phrase. Sorry, not chrysoprase. Those are two different things. The original ocean picture stone. So I'm sure there's people who are familiar with the ocean picture stone out of BC. The stuff that on Dan Hurd's claim. If you guys know who that is. Technically, that stuff is BC ocean picture stone. I think that's the correct full name, but most people just call it ocean picture stone because this is the original material that was named ocean picture stone. I believe this may have come out of Madagascar, and it might actually be from the same place where ocean jasper comes from. This is some type of jasper, maybe imperial jasper. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but some type of jasper. Very pretty. Got lots of cool, beautiful patterns and colors. And then another slab of jasper / rhyolite material kind of stuff. I think this is jasper by the feel of it, but it could be rhyolite actually. Maybe it's rhyolite. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the material from the U.S. A lot of this stuff is from the U.S. Actually, most of it is, except for this, what's called pinite. And this is also from around Sudbury. So I have a couple slabs of pinite, and then this interesting little kind of jasper agate nodule. If anybody recognizes what this is, like what type it is, let me know, because the owner was a little unsure too. He thought it might be peanut jasper, but I looked that up and it does not look like this at all. But if anybody recognizes this, I believe this is probably most likely from North America. A lot of his stuff is like North American centered. Now let's get to the mineral specimens. This is a vanadinite. I can never pronounce this. Specimen from Arizona, which is quite uncommon. It's got lovely color. You can see the crystals. Usually you get vandinite. There we go. Vandinite from, you usually see it coming out of Morocco. Here's a cool specimen. This comes out of Mont Saint Hilaire, which is a very well-known mineral collecting spot in Canada. It is an albite and siderite combination. You can see it in there. Mont Saint Hilaire is, I believe it's a large quarry, and it's known for having just this amazing wide array of minerals, and some of these minerals are quite rare. Here's an aragonite. I think that's how you pronounce it. Let me get that. Here's an aragonite specimen from South Dakota. If I remember correctly, the local name for these are actually Indian pennies. Next up is this selenite from Mexico. It says Cave of Swords, but I don't know if stuff was actually ever collected from the Cave of Swords. The Cave of Swords is that, I believe it's that famous picture of those giant crystals, and you see like a man beside them, and they just like outsize him so insanely. But I have a feeling this probably comes from the same region, and so that's probably why it's labeled as Cave of Swords. Next we have a local specimen, strontianite. Strontianite, yeah. This comes from the Dundas Quarry, actually. But I don't have any of this, and this is quite rare mineral, so I thought I would get my hands on it. It was a good deal, so I picked it up. Next we have a nice little cluster of Celestine crystals from Ontario. I'll put the exact location where it comes from in the description, because it's kind of hard to try and open this up with one hand, and this specimen is kind of fragile, so I don't want to risk it. I actually have another Celestine specimen. This comes from the Dundas Quarry, so the same quarry as the strontianite, but it's this lovely large, just faint blue hue terminated Celestine crystal that is just covered in this druzy dog-toothed calcite crystal. So it was a really good price for it, so I decided to pick it up. It will be a good specimen. And then last but not least, a specimen of native copper from the Kewanna Peninsula of Michigan. I actually did a whole video on native copper and its history, its Native American history. So if you guys would want to watch that, link in the description. I thought it was a kind of an interesting topic to share, and you guys can see a couple more copper specimens and native copper specimens and learn a little interesting bit of Native American history. Well, we have come to the end of the video. Please, if you like this kind of stuff, I do rock hounding and lapidary and a bit of flint knapping and some arrowhead collecting, all that kind of like rock and history stuff. If you like that kind of stuff and you haven't subscribed yet, please do think of subscribing. Please like this video and actually leave a comment below letting me know what was your favorite thing that I got out of this rock haul. Let me know, because I'd love to hear what you guys think.